So what do you say to people who have the fear and the belief that artificial intelligence is going to take away, and already is taking away, jobs from real people?
It's going to. It will. But there's one thing it cannot do, which is actual creativity. So look at all of the influencers online. Look at the products that have come up and been successful. Look at the billion-dollar companies. An AI system could not have done that.
Artificial intelligence is getting more and more advanced, and there's so many ways that you can leverage it for your business. Now, you might think it's expensive, but not necessarily. There are cost-effective ways you can use AI in your business. Adrian Dunkley is CEO of Starapple AI. He's going to tell us how on this episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with EXIM Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. Hi, Adrian. Welcome to Money Moves JA.
Thanks, Kalila. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so artificial intelligence is a big buzz phrase right now, especially after you saw Elon Musk debut his new robot that's supposed to take over the world in 5 years. There at Starapple, you do artificial intelligence. Tell us more about what you do.
Sure. So we focus on different areas of artificial intelligence. So marketing, process automation, and then content creation as well. Well, pretty much what we're trying to do is we're giving you basic leverage. We want you to be able to do more with less resources. So you can do things faster, you can do things more effectively, and you can find more opportunities in what you want to do.
So give me some examples.
Sure. So we have a few experiments running right now for clients. We're actually creating content based on what's going on in the market. So it's actually generating videos, text, stories, blogs, as well as imagery based on what their potential clients and their current clients are interested in.
You know, it's really interesting. I saw, for example, Canva now has a text-to-image feature.
Yeah.
That's artificial intelligence,
Yes,
right?
it
So you
is,
just
right.
type in what image you want to see, and it will create the image.
Yeah, right. So that's generative artificial intelligence. So it's not generating from scratch per se, but it has all of this data, this human data to feed on, and it tries to figure out exactly what you're trying to ask it. Doesn't always do well. You get some weird stuff a lot of times. So you still need a human involved in the process. But for somebody who's doing graphic design or somebody who has a small business and they can't afford a full-time graphic designer, it gives them a little extra bump up. Can't completely replace a graphic designer at this point, but it can give you a little more in terms of edge.
The key phrase that you said is "at this point,"
Yeah.
right? So what do you say to people who have the fear and the belief that artificial intelligence is going to take away, and already is taking away, jobs from real people?
It's going to. It will. But there's one thing it cannot do, which is actual creativity. So look at all of the influencers online. Look at the products that have come up and been successful. Look at the billion-dollar companies. An AI system could not have done that. Humans. There's a lot of complexity and craziness in us as a species. So AI can't really replace that. At this point, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon either.
So what you need to do now is make sure that your business has a creative focus and something
Yes.
that can't be replicated by a machine or a computer.
Agreed, because when you look at content being created, it's not necessarily the highest level content that is the best. It's something where you're connecting with your audience, you're connecting with your customers, and you're providing them some value that may not necessarily be quantified at this point. So prepare yourself, but as long as you're in a field where it's extremely creative and you're adding value to the economy, you should be safe for a while.
Do you have any data to show how artificial intelligence, how using it actually impacts a business?
Yeah, so we have our current customers. On average, we're seeing in terms of time savings, 20 to 30% improvement in operations. When it comes to content creation, though, it's had some effect, but not a huge impact at this point, because you still need to ensure that what you're developing using these tools matches up to your brand guidelines and isn't offending anybody. So there's still a lot of human intervention in terms of that.
What are some of the key benefits? So you said time savings.
Yeah.
I imagine cost savings as well.
Yeah, well, For the most part, so the funny thing is there's a lot of upfront costs if you're developing these things from scratch. Right? So it's better to get something off the shelf and try to optimize it. So we do a lot of in-house development, but it takes a lot of time and effort. And we have a lot of grant funding, so we utilize that to save on the product development for a piece. But when it comes to you implementing your business, start small and be very focused on what your goal is, and you should get a decent ROI from that.
So you mentioned that upfront it can be expensive. Give us a ballpark. Like how much does this stuff cost to implement?
So if you're building it from scratch, could be millions of dollars. But if you're doing it like third-party tools, so DALL-E, Stable Fusion, and it's getting to the point where you can actually generate video from text, right? Those free, pretty much. The investment is actually getting individuals involved in it, and there's a bit of a learning curve, but as long as you have people willing to spend the time, then you should be fine.
There's a lot of data about artificial intelligence. You're giving me some statistics before. You have some more data to share?
Yeah. So one thing you'll find is there's a lot of research for developed countries, the US, UK, Australia, China, in terms of what they're doing. There's very little research in terms of the Caribbean and Latin America that an MSME can actually tie onto. So we did a research study. We actually found less than 10% of MSMEs are actually utilizing AI. But since the pandemic, around 40% have dabbled with it. So they try to use
in
some
this
form
region,
of
you mean?
Yes, in this region, actually. So these were primarily Jamaican companies in Barbados, Trinidad, and the larger Caribbean countries, right? But the idea is a lot of persons are interested in doing it, and there were a few surveys actually done of staff, employees, and a lot of them were actually pushing for it. So you have this weird balance of people are potentially afraid of losing their jobs, but at the same time, there's a lot of benefit to it.
Right.
Because a lot of studies have shown around 30% of your day is spent literally just trying to figure out what to do or trying to find something. So if you can take away that 30%, you have a lot more time on your hands as an employee, a lot less stress, you can be more efficient, you can spend more time learning and developing your skills so that the robots don't take over your job. So there's a lot of value in at least experimenting with these tools and trying it in different areas. So not just marketing, not just risk, not just financial management, but in every area or organization, there is a benefit to using AI.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And as MSMEs can use these tools because many of us may think it's just assume that it's out of our reach.
Right.
That because it's artificial intelligence, it sounds expensive, it sounds out there, it sounds like something that is inaccessible to me. And you're saying that that's not necessarily true.
No. Anyone can get involved immediately. We've actually trained high school students to develop AI models. We just entered a competition with Amazon, so we taught a car to actually drive around the track. The car's name is Lewis Fastleton, and we got in the top 10% globally.
Congratulations.
And that's just getting some kids involved and teaching them how to do it. Because AI is all about problem solving. Everybody solves problems. Everybody thinks. AI is horrible at thinking, technically, so it still needs humans. But you can teach toddlers. We're coming out with a children's book as well on AI, the dangers and benefits as well. But it is literally a field that is suited for every single person in the world because it's about thinking on your brain.
But if you are using more technology in your business, doesn't it also make you more susceptible to things like hacking and all the problems that come with technology too?
Yeah. So that's still people, processes, systems in place. So for us, around 40% of our business is actually fully automated. For example, so I don't know, I'll ask you which one you prefer. I don't know, silver or that one or gold?
I think I like the white one.
Okay, so we can decide on which card to choose. There's a big debate. So each of these QR codes is actually attached to a very specific automated system, which is essentially voting. So we give out 2 of these, and depending on how many individuals actually contact us and how far they get through the funnel, we actually use that to understand which card color is actually better for each person. And we actually break that down based on industries, based on demographics of the individuals, and well, it can happen. And when it comes to costing for something like this experiment, it did not cost any money at all. It was pretty much free, other than to print the cards.
Cool.
But if it supports us bringing in even 5% additional persons in the company, it's worth that additional time in training persons to use these techniques. So a lot of value out there that isn't
Very, very
utilized.
interesting. So how can people reach you?
You can go on www.starapple.ai. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, we're all over. We're on Pinterest. We're on Pinterest.
Okay.
We do a lot of art stuff on there as well. And yeah, just reach out.
Thanks, Adrian.
Okay, all right, thanks for having me.
Here's a recap of Adrian's key points. AI technology is great to invest in because it saves the company time. Setting up AI for your business can run you millions, but third-party tools such as DALL-E and Stable Diffusion can generate art and convert videos from text. According to Starapple research, less than 10% of MSMEs have utilized AI technology. However, since the onset of the pandemic, 40% of businesses have dabbled with the technology.
That's it for this episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with EXIM Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. I'm Kalila Reynolds. You can visit my website, KalilaReynolds.com, for a full summary of this episode, and visit EXIMBankJA.com. See you next time.